Looking down on the field, it appears no lineup changes for the Quakes, and none that I can see for California at this moment. For the Quakes, Hewitt in goal, Ratonski and Powell, the central defenders, with Etherington and McAllister on the wings. The midfield line, Lichner, Liberich, and Horvath. Best, David, and Cristatelli up front. For the Surf, Mayer in goal, Cahill and Craven, the central defenders. Steve Sargent and Mark Lindsay are the fullbacks. Laurie Abrahams, Vidal Fernandez, and Johan Sharman in midfield. Sharman replaced Paulo Cesar. And the forwards are Graham Oates, Craig Allen, and Steve Boyer. All right, we are ready to go in the second half. The Quakes kicking off, moving from our left to our right, and they'll be attacking in the infield portion of the playing field here in the second half, and the Surf has to defend in it. Dave, what do you think? More treachery there for the defense trying to stop a play, or tougher for the offense to break through?
I really don't think it's going to affect the game at all, to be honest with you. And maybe psychologically is the only way that it can affect you. Not quite the footing that you have on this turf, and this turf is beautiful, but the only advantage I could see would be a psychological advantage.
The Quakes have just lost the ball over the far eastern sideline, a throw-in for California.
And that advantage, by the way, would go to the team that's defending it, because the forwards wouldn't feel comfortable about running in dirt or something. You're a pro, you don't worry about it. Just get it done.
Surf holding the ball in midfield. Goes, chips it up the right side to Lindsay. Lindsay trying to get by McAllister. Lichner helps out. Lindsay still has the ball along the center line and plays it through now. Controlled over there by Allen. Allen on the left side. Up it goes to Sargent overlapping, and he's pushed from behind by Cristatelli. There's a foul on Tony.
That was about the third guy Cristatelli picked up with Sargent. I think Cristatelli was getting a little tired and just kind of ran into Sargent that time.
We had just one yellow card in the first half. That awarded to Jim McAllister. Sargent to take the free kick about 5 yards beyond the 35-yard line. Steve Angle to the left. Now Craig Allen picks it up, rolls it a couple yards forward. Here comes Sargent, drilling it down in front, headed by Fernandez toward Moyers. He tries to spin, but Horvath clears it. Good thing Horvath was there. Moyers had a great chance. Ball coming over near Lichner. Knocked away from behind, but Horvath wins the ball for San Jose. Fernandez pursuing him. Pushed up the left side, and George Best has it for the Earthquakes. Bestie to Lichner. McAllister. Pass knocked away by one of the Surf players. I believe it's Allen, and knock off on the left side. Here comes California again. Sargent comes up the left side, overlapping from fullback. Pushing it for Craig Allen. Down the middle he comes, looking for Abrahams. He's got it left side. Turns and shoots and missed it wide left. Good chance for Abrahams, and he was not close.
Yeah, he was not close, and I think Powell really had an angle on him. Between Powell and Hewitt, they had him going where he couldn't do anything with it. You know, you noticed on that last set play where Craig Allen picked the ball up and threw it in the air. And you know what I think was happening there, Hal? I think he was calling the set play. In other words, that called set play number 36 or whatever it was, as he picked the ball and threw it in the air.
I suspect you're exactly right. Here's Hewitt driving with the midfield. Three players go up. Oates and Lichner got to beat the ball. He couldn't find it, and finally Oates spots it. Keeps it alive for the Surf. Here's Cahill coming up the left side. Plays it for Allen. Allen breaks through two defenders. Here he comes to the offside line, trying to cross it. Ratonski leaves his man. Left side, Abrahams. The Fernandez shot, and he missed it wide to the left. Ratonski left his man and come out in front to pick up Fernandez at the top of the box, and the Quakes almost got cut short, but the shot missed wide to the left.
They sure did. It seems that Abrams is breaking through with a lot of space and creating all this trouble, although that time it was Allen that got into the space after Abrams. Abrams is getting in on the left-hand side and creating all kinds of danger right now here in the first 3 minutes.
Quakes holding it, the defensive end. And it's played on back to Mike Hewitt. Fans, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Stevens Creek Toyota. Stevens Creek Toyota, where you can trust us to treat you right. Quakes looking for their second straight win here as Horvath plays it up the left side for Best. Best can't quite control the ball as he goes in the air. Lindsay gets a piece of it, but McAllister keeps it alive to Best. Here's George left side, gets by Fernandez. Plays it back for McAllister left to the box. Jimmy's got it, turns, crossing it for Cristatelli. Headed away by Cahill, comes out in front, and Sharman has the ball for California.
Even though Cahill headed that one away, did you see where the goalkeeper for the Surf was? Alan Mayer. He was out of position again.
Here comes Allen breaking up the left side for California. Across the 35-yard line he goes. Down the middle for Abrahams. Cuts it back in front. Fernandez back to Abrahams. Lifts it high into the air. McAllister's right there. Heads it back toward Lichner. Lichner to Horvath, and the Quakes will clear it at their offside line. Horvath just holding it. Up the left side, up the right side, I should say. It goes to Mark Liberich. Mark has not been terribly conspicuous tonight. Plays it down the middle for George Best. Best left side. Ball headed away by Cahill. Anticipating nicely, and Cahill will win it at the offside line. Talked with Mark briefly today and said after having a full week training with the team as opposed to 2 days last Sunday, he feels much more comfortable this week.
Mark has certainly assumed a different role than last time he was in San Jose.
Oh, really?
When he was in San Jose before, he was a left winger, and now he's a midfield player. I mean, there's no question about that. He's dropping back into the midfield.
Best to Horvath, left side. Joe coming up to the end line. Double teamed by Cahill and Lindsay. He has it knocked over the end line by Lindsay. It'll be a corner kick.
So the Earthquakes continue to get their share of corner kicks. Another corner kick here right away in the first half. Again, they can create some danger. This time, Lynchner's going to take it. I think they've changed their strategy at halftime.
Horvath and David to the near post. Crescatelli out near the spot. Here's Slavko drilling it out toward Ratonski, who comes in there, but Allen heads it away. Horvath after the left side of the box, heading it toward David. David heads it back toward Ratonski. Boston dribbles out, delivers, shot, and it may have been deflected. Let's see it over the end line. Corner kick from the right side.
Well, a tremendous attack they got out of that one. Horvath brought that ball back into the middle of the area, and David just dropped it back beautifully there to, who was it that got the shot? Was it to Mark Liverich, I think?
Right.
He dropped it back beautifully to Liverich, who got that shot in. That was a dangerous shot. Had it not hit a California Surf player, it would have been in the back of the net, I believe.
Lynchner will take the corner from the right side now. Again, Horvath.
The pass go out to Cahill. He timed his run just perfect so that as Cahill was trying to bring it under control, he was there. Just that old experience told him when to get there. As Cahill tried to get control of the ball, George just took it away from him and was alone with Mayer. Mayer had no chance. Vesey didn't have the 5-second clock like you have in the shootout, so it was real simple. Vesey brought Mayer out to him and just pushed the ball by him. A simple goal for George. Came out of his experience and is really his ability to read the game.
Unassisted goal for Best at 54-46, Georgia's third goal of the season, and the Earthquakes lead at 1-0. California kicks off and loses the ball. David, back to George Best. Here's George driving for the 35-yard line, down the right side. Gets by Oates. George into the box. George traps it away from Abrams and loses it to Oates. That looked dangerous again momentarily. Now Craven drives out to the front of the area, and here comes California. So George Best intercepting about 25 yards from the goal line and takes it in and scores his third goal of the year, and the Quakes lead at 1-0. Graham Oates driving on Joe Horvath down the middle of the field. Plays it across on the right side. Sharman has it, playing it for Lindsay. Lindsay right of the box against McAllister. Turns Jimmy back around to the end line, crossing in front. Ratonski comes out to clear it away. Beautiful anticipation by Ratonski that time. Out it goes to Lichner at midfield. Slavko racing up the left side. Plays it, well, between Steve David and Crescatelli, and it's knocked away by Oates. But he loses the ball to Liverich. Liverich trying to cross it for David. Broken up back in there by Craven. And the Surf has it back. 1-0 the Quakes lead, but here comes California. Allen breaking up the left side. Picked up by Etherington. Craig still has it. Chips in front. Headed away by Bossa. Ratonski having a very active second half here. Horvath has the ball near the offside line of the San Jose end. Joe driving forward. Playing it long left side for Crescatelli. Tony racing to it. Lindsay has the angle on him. Screens him off the ball. It'll be a throw-in for the Surf.
Hal, I really think that they're running Crescatelli too much. Crescatelli's doing a lot of work defensively, and they're giving him these long lead passes to each corner flag that are really, really tough on him, and his lung capacity has to be huge to get to those kind of balls.
Here's Sharman breaking up the right side, but he's double-teamed. Horvath steps in front of him. McAllister losing the ball. Sharman wins it back. Sharman takes it out right side of the box. Dribbling it back toward the offside line now. Kept alive to Oates right on the 35-yard line, middle of the field. David makes a run at him, can't get the ball. Oates still has it. He spins, starts upfield now. Chips it down in front. Abrams chest traps it, but it's cleared by McAllister to midfield. Crescatelli after the ball. He and Craven go after it, and Tony may have pushed off. Wait. Craven pushed first, I believe. Nope, it is a California free kick. Pardon me. All right, Surf has the ball. Up the left side, it comes to Craig Allen. Allen to Sharman. Johan breaking down the left side. Plays it wide left to Allen. Boyer's in front. Allen to the end line. Fires one just up too high. Be a goal kick for the Earthquakes.
I think Allen was actually trying to cross that ball, and he didn't get what he wanted on it, and he hit a ball that was headed toward the near post, and had it not climbed up in the air, he might have beat Mike Hewitt with that.
Goal kick for the Quakes. Tonight's game is being brought to you by a company that cares. TRW Vidar, part of a company called TRW, with 2 locations in the Santa Clara Valley. 1-0 the Earthquakes lead on George Best's third goal of the season. 32 minutes left as Hewitt rolls it out to Ratonski. Now comes to Etherington. Gary starting up the right side. Ball knocked away, but Horvath wins it back and drives it back to Ratonski, who takes it into the penalty area. Looks to Mike Hewitt, and Bossa starts forward instead. Knocks it out to Liverich. Mark has it. Right on the 35-yard line. Gets by Abrahams. Mark keeping the ball. Here's Abrahams from behind. Mark speeds up the dribble now. Playing it left side, but Lindsay intercepts in front of George Best. However, he lost it over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Quakes.
Again, Bestie really did well there. Bestie went at that ball with a full slide so that Lindsay really couldn't put the delicate touch on it. He had to put his boot behind it, and that allowed Best to win it on the throw-in.
Long ball inside for Lichner. Slavko crossing it. Then it's just in front of Crescitelli all the way through the penalty area, right on across the field. It'll be a throw-in.
Boy, a great opportunity there. Lynchner again hits the ball very, very hard when he gets in those delicate situations. He could have played a softball back here and been extremely dangerous. We had Crescitelli at the first post, and Steve David just didn't have time to get around to the far post to do the damage.
I said earlier, Steve was starting to having to start from a long ways away, Dave, and kind of taken him out of the game with a few exceptions. Lindsay plays one upfield for Fernandez. Fernandez coming down the middle against Vasa. Vasa knocks it away off to Horvath. As again, Botansky really asserting himself on the defensive end this half. Quakes have it back. Lichner starting up the left side. Plays it for George Best. George scoring his 43rd NASL goal tonight. Playing it back to Powell. And now to Vasa Ratanski. Just over 30 minutes left. 1-0 Quakes. Interception by Abrahams at the offside line. Back up the right side it goes. Johan Sharman has the ball. Driving on Horvath. Down the middle goes to Fernandez. Knocks it back for Sharman. Sharman one-on-one with McAllister. Taking it out wide to the right. Looking for help. And now McAllister knocks it away over the sideline. Throw in serve. Owen coming down right side of the area. Quick slow to cover up. Out in front. Heads up by Allen. Hewitt leaps out to his right and knocks it away and covers it up. Hewitt was at the near post to our right. The ball came through to Allen, and Mike really scampered in a hurry across the entire mouth of the goal to come racing out to his right, diving out, knocked it down, and pounced on it.
He sure did. And Mike really showed some athletic ability on that one, because not only did he get to the ball, but just getting possession of it after he got it. He really had to give it everything he got to get possession so it wouldn't bounce to somebody's feet. So
Abrahams was closing fast. He had to cover it up, or it might have been an open goal.
Sure would have.
Here's Sargent holding the ball. Playing it upfield now to Cahill. Back to Sargent. Sargent starting up the left side. Ball knocked away by Etherington, but it comes back in front for Sargent. Off it comes now. David knocks it away from Abrahams. It comes off to Crescitelli, who lets it go through for Liberich. Quick counterattack. White shirts flying back. Liberich holding the ball center circle. Plays it for Best. 6-7 white shirts are back. Best bringing it up the right side now. Across the 35-yard line. Here he comes. Top of the box. Fakes right. Back to the left. George still with it. Turns around, spinning nicely against Cahill. Now plays up the right side for Liberich, but Bart got a slow start. Here's Mayer over to pick it up, front of the end line.
You know, you hear occasional boos. You hear them coming out of the crowd every now and then, and this young rock-type crowd that's here has got some things going, I think, with a police officer
I
up
think
there.
it's the security force that's blowing the boos, not the surf.
Yeah.
Here's Sharman down the left side against Ratanski. Horvath comes over to help out, but it comes out in front to Fernandez. At the arc, he winds up. Now pushing it right side. Cut back in front to Moyers. Moyers turns and shoots, and it's good for a goal to tie it up. Moyers beating a leaping Mike Hewitt from out near the spot as he's had several chances. Turned in there and shot and beat Mike to the left post, and it's all tied up at 1-1.
He sure did. Moyers really didn't have much opportunity to put that ball anywhere. He spun. The ball came from his right. He spun to his left, and he hit the ball and it hit the inside of the post. There's really nothing that Michael could do about the goal. He had his goal covered as good as he could cover it. Moyers, I think, had some luck on that when he hit it on a full turn, and it just clipped the inside of the post as it went in. So back to even.
Well, some luck, but Moyers has had several opportunities like that, and sooner or later, one's going to pay off. So it's all tied up at 1-1. The goal coming in the 62nd minute here. And the Quakes and the Surf deadlock. Quakes kick off, lose the ball. Here's California attacking up the right side. It comes to Moyers at the 35-yard line. Abrahams cuts in front. Moyers holding the ball. Moyers pushes it to Abrahams. Now Sharman comes down the middle. And Abrahams led the ball too much for Sharman. It's taken away by Powell. Sharman and Fernandez both get assists. And the time is 61-47 for Moyers' tying goal. So we're all even here at Anaheim.
Something awful familiar about that time. I think that was about the time that San Jose scored the own goal against themselves the last time they played the Surf.
Here comes California again. Moyers breaking down the middle from behind. Ratanski gets a piece of it. Going up in the air to win it with his head, and Hewitt grabs it for San Jose.
The defender that was on Moyers when he made that turn in the shot was Ratanski, so he made the space against Ratanski.
David wins the ball to midfield. Lichner plays it on back to Tony Powell. Fans, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Los Gatos Datsun Volvo. We're closer to you and your car at Los Gatos Datsun Volvo. Craven high into the air to win the ball at midfield. Headed over toward Lindsay. High bounce. Lichner after, but Lindsay goes up very high to win it, but it comes off to Lichner on the right side. Allen knocks it back upfield for the serve. Here comes Abraham. Quakes hustling back defensively. Abraham's up the left side. Sharman in front, so's Moyers. Long cross for Moyers. Powell heads it over the end line. Corner kick.
Powell did real well again there. He's playing real well and steady in the center of the middle of that defense. He cut through and just headed that ball simply over the inline. Gave away the corner kick certainly, but played very safe with the ball.
Corner kick from the left side now. Manny Nevis has come on. Davey snuck in there during the last break. Manny Nevis on for the serve. Here's a cross in front for Moyers. He's offside. Moyers lurking near the spot again. Chopped off free kick Quakes.
Yeah, I think Manny came on there right after the goal, I believe. I haven't seen yet who he's replaced, but I think it's Vidal Fernandez. Vidal has had injury problems throughout his career, and I didn't see what exactly he injured. I'll try to look and see what's going on with him.
All right, the serve. Winning the ball back at midfield. Down the middle it comes to Sharman. Sharman dancing away from Ratonski. Up the right side. Abraham lets it go through. Cross back in front. Too long for Sharman. Headed by Etheridge back toward the 35-yard line. Liverich is there. Knocks it back to Lichner at midfield. So here come the Earthquakes against California. Horvath playing it back to the left side. Bessie, long ball down the middle for Crescitelli. Kicks it forward, but Horvath can't get there in time. Mayer goes over and fields it on one big hop.
Crescitelli had a real good idea with that ball. He wanted to first time out back to Horvath on the wing, and he just really didn't get enough of the ball to get it out there, and the ball went to Mayer instead of going back out to Horvath.
Mayer plays it out to Sharman. Johan comes down the middle. Moyers to his right. So is Abraham. Horvath from behind knocks it away, and Etherington comes up with the ball. Now the Quakes come forward again. Etherington driving, plays one for David, left to the box. Coming over from the left side is Cahill. David gets there, cuts it back to Lichner to keep it alive. Lichner along the far eastern sideline, winds up, crossing one toward Crescitelli, comes back, now it's knocked away by Sharman all the way out to midfield. Surf has it back. We go the other way. Up the left side for Sharman now, from Abraham. Sharman driving in left side, marked by Ratonski, fakes him right, back to the left. Sharman crossing it, deflected, here comes Moyers. Here's Sharman on the half volley, hits it over the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick. So we have a break in the action here with 24 minutes left in the game. Scoreboard showing Quakes 1, Surf 1. Well, Dave, we went for nearly 55 minutes without a goal. 2 goals in a little over 7 minutes, and in the action end-to-end right now.
You never know how they're going to come. We had enough chances to have a couple goals the first half. We were talking about that at halftime a little bit, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, we got a goal. We could have a couple more, certainly, before this evening's over with.
Best playing one to midfield to Slavko Lichner. Knocked off to Steve David. David comes up the left side. Past the 35-yard line he goes. Back down the middle of the field. Racing to it is Lichner. Slavko stops against Lindsay. Pushes it back across the field. Didn't get much on the pass, but it's kept alive by Best. Best, he holds it. Tips it for Horvath. It's deflected by Abrahams. Abrahams wins the ball. Runs over Best. Surf has the ball. Breaking up the right side now. Neves has the ball. Centers it in front for Moyers. Moyers tries to head it back to Neves, I think. It's deflected by one of the Quakes. Ratonski heads it out toward Powell. Out to the offside line. It's lost off to Mark Lindsay. Lindsay playing it left side for Sharman. Sharman brings it in left to the box. Faking Horvath. Joe stays with him nicely. Out in the left wing now. It goes to Sargent. Sargent winds up. The flag is up. Offside. Quakes get it back.
Quakes did well there. Joe Horvath is almost forced now, as this game progresses. It's certainly getting more and more open as we go on. But it's Joe Horvath playing almost in the middle of the defense along with Powell and Ratonski that are doing our defending. You know, there's 3 men defensively, and that's because the Surf have opted to try to split the defense and send midfielders through. And Joe's dropping back and just picking up who's coming through the middle.
There's a long ball left side toward Lichner, heading down to the left corner. It gets a good bounce and stays alive. Lichner crossing it. Here comes Liverich. Oates is there, or Sargent is there, and Sargent heads it away, but it comes back toward George Best. High hop over George's head. Knocked away. George gets it back in the center circle. Scramble for the ball. He may have been fouled by Lindsay. He was. Free kick for the Quakes.
San Jose will have this free kick in the middle of the center circle. It looks like George Best will take it. This is almost like a kickoff situation, except you can penetrate a little bit, and they've got players all over the field.
Horvath takes the ball. Left to the center circle he comes. Plays it in front for Steve David. David jumps over the ball, keeps it away from Oates, knocks it back for George Best. Best to Ratonski. Vasa driving for the 35-yard line now. Flying in front for Crescitelli. Tony in heavy traffic. Away from Oates. Away from Lindsay. Plays it back down for David. Here's Steve by side. A shot deflected by Mayer. Up over the goal. Corner kick. Great play by Mayer.
Mayer just made a great play to rob Steve David of his 101st goal. Boy, Steve really was in good position, and it all happened because of Crescitelli. Crescitelli turned, beat two men, and then fed the ball to Steve David and really created the danger not only with his turn with the ball, but the ball that he laid off to Steve David. And Steve David just got robbed. Mayer was absolutely superb with that save.
Lichner will take the corner kick from the right corner here. Drilled way out in front. Best heads it forward on the left side, but it's cleared back there by Neves. Neves running the far side of the field. McAllister after it. Last touch by Neves. It'll be a throw-in for the Earthquakes.
So the Earthquakes will have this throw-in about 18 yards from the end line in their attacking zone. So in the attacking end of the field, the third of the field where it all happens.
McAllister throws in for Steve David. Has trouble. Loses the ball. Oates knocks it away. What do we got? Foul on Steve. And a free kick for the Surf. Let's take 10 seconds right now to pause for station identification. This is the San Jose Earthquakes Radio Network. Al Ramey and Dave Chaplik visiting with you from Anaheim Stadium. The Quakes and the Surf deadlocked at 1-1. McAllister goes high in the air to win the ball. Surf has it. Raven starting forward. Big John, he can score for a defender. Had 8 goals with Vancouver in 1978. Hasn't come forward much tonight. Ball played up ahead. Moyers heads it back to the offside line. Controlled there by Sharman. Out on the right wing it goes to Cahill. Cahill against McAllister. Cross it for Neves. Chest trap. Up in the air is Powell to win the ball. Knocks it over toward McAllister. Jimmy Mack heads it forward, but crossing the sideline. And it'll be a throw-in for the Surf.
Jimmy Mack didn't hit that ball exactly where he wanted it. He ended up heading it over the sideline, giving a throw-in away when he had both Horvath and Lynchner up the line if he could have headed the ball up the line.
Surf has the ball right in the box now. Comes out to the trail man Lindsay at the offside line. He'll wind up from 30 yards. Drives in on Powell. Powell tackles it away. Fine play by Tony. Kept alive by Craven. Down the left side it comes to Craig Allen. Drops it. Moves in on Etherington. Crescitelli helping out. To the end line goes Allen. And we got a foul called on Craig Allen. Pushing off against Etherington. Free kick Earthquake.
Surprised me. It could have been an obstruction against Etherington, but I didn't see it as close as the referee did. He was right there, Dan Goldman, the ref, and he saw it better than us and called a holding foul.
Ratonski has the ball in front of the area. Having a little trouble there with Abrahams. Plays over Etherington. Etherington loses to Allen. Allen driving in. Ratonski can't stop him. Cross back in front. Moyers heads it back to the far side toward Cahill. Through the box it goes. I'm not sure that Moyers let that one go. The Charman wouldn't have had a great chance. Down the right side it goes for Cahill. Into the corner against McAllister. Cuts it back, but Horvath cuts in front of Charman to win the ball. Drilled out to midfield. David jumps in front of Oates. Knocks it over the sideline. Be a throw-in for the Surf.
Again, the Earthquakes give the ball away on their in their defensive end, and that's real danger every time they did that. That time it was Etherington.
Here comes the ball to Abrams down the middle. Cuts it back for Mark Lindsay. Lindsay plays it up the right side. Manny Neves. Quick move against Horvath. Right side of the box he goes to Sharman. He shoots, and it's wide to the right. Be a goal kick.
Sharman made a real good effort out of that ball. He really didn't have much of a step he could take with it. He had to just kind of knock it down real quick and punch it. I just got handed the up-to-date stats, and they show the California Surf leading in shots 17 to 12 for San Jose, and everything else is just about even, with the exception of corner kicks. San Jose's leading again 6-3.
Goal kick for the Quakes. Hewitt plays it out to Etherington to Mark Liberich. Liberich to Horvath. Then a crowd in midfield. Losing the ball to Lindsay. Joe tried to trap it, but it hopped up his foot. Lindsay took it away. Left side to Sharman now. Sharman to Craig Allen. South African winds up, fires one from 30 yards away, missed it wide to the right. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Earthquakes here. Fans, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Stevens Creek Toyota. Stevens Creek Toyota, where you can trust us to treat you right.
Young Craig Allen was signed as a free agent from the Channel Islands, so he's really added something to this California Surf team. He's a young player. He's 21 years old.
Had 9 goals, 7 assists last year, and was had 2 goals, the only 2 goals of the game for California to beat San Diego 2-1 last Saturday night. Here come the Quakes to midfield. It's tied at 1-1. Long ball right side toward Lichner. Lindsay up in the air, wins the ball, and offside was called anyway.
I think they caught Steve David offside that time.
Here's Sharman driving from midfield. Across the 35-yard line he goes. Ball knocked away by Ratonski, but kept alive by Sharman to Lindsay, left side. Lindsay holds the ball, looks upfield. Mark starts driving in now on Etherington. Here he comes left corner of the box. Fakes left, back to the right, winds up. Crossing one for Moyers at the spot. Takes the shot deflected by McAllister off on the right side near Neves. Over the end line, and it'll be a corner kick.
Boy, Lynchner, for a minute, trapped that ball. He started to control it, and he was inside of his goal box when he started to control it. And then he immediately realized where he was at and just kind of spun and hit it over the end line to give a corner kick away to the Surf.
All right, Abrahams, corner kick right side. Neves makes a late run to the near post. Comes out in front, over the head. Moyers up in the air. Headshot wide left. Hewitt way out near the spot. Didn't get to it. Moyers holding his... That was the flag up there, Dave?
I didn't see a flag go up.
Moyers looked like he was protesting something.
No, I think he was protesting himself. He was a little bit upset with himself that he had Mike Hewitt off his line and out of position and didn't put the ball away, because he could have put that ball away real easy.
I think that may be exactly the case. Moyers had a good shot with Hewitt caught out in front. The goal was open, and the shot was wide left. Mike throws the ball out to Ratonski now. 16 minutes left, a 1-1 tie.
Again, if anybody tuned in late, the team California Surf has just signed Carlos Alberto. He's not playing here tonight, but as soon as they get him fit, he's going to be into their lineup.
McAllister bringing up the left side for the Earthquakes. Blows it up, knocks it for George Best. Best plays one to David in front. Steve trying to trap it, having trouble, knocked away, and the Surf comes up with the ball. Steve trying to change directions as he trapped the ball and wound up losing it. Here's Moyers getting by Horvath at midfield. Here comes Liverich. Liverich knocks it away. Can David get there? Nope. Lindsay beats him to it. Lindsay losing the ball to Liverich, though. Lindsay throws Liverich down. Free kick, Earthquake.
Some tremendous tackling in there. Steve David and Mark Liverich. Unbelievable tackling. Real hard. It looks to me like Lindsay's down.
Lindsay shaken up, so they're breaking the action. 15 minutes left. Scoreboard showing. Earthquakes 1, Surf 1. Mark Lindsay stretched out in the center circle, Dave. He was kind of slow to go down after those two hard tackles, but now he's up and holding his right knee or perhaps on the shin.
Nice. Yeah, I see as he lowered his sock, his right ankle is taped, so he's probably gone over on his right ankle. The Surf could be in a little bit of trouble here. They've used 2 substitutes already, and if they use one more, it's certainly their last substitute, and I really don't know who they're going to bring in or how they're going to bring in the next player. They have
Joe Clark, and they have, Neves has come on and Sherman. They got Clark and Mahoney, and that's it.
Yeah, Mahoney's a goalkeeper, and I see him out. I see where Silvera has just come on just now. Silvera's come on for Lynchner, and I tend to agree with the move. It's a good one. Lynchner's got had caught an elbow in the cheek or something, and he's going to need some stitches, or he's got it in the stomach. I see he's doubled over on the bench.
So Silvera in, Lynchner living here at 75-04. Mark Lindsay just getting to his feet now after the trainer, Frank Bonnell, examines that ankle, and Laurie Calloway with a problem here. He has just one remaining substitution available. This is already brought on Neves and Sharman. He can bring on Joe Clark and gamble that Alan Mayer makes it through all right.
And Alan Mayer doesn't have a history of making it through all right. He's got a history of getting injured in a game, and that's a little bit risky, I think, to use up your substitutions, leaving Alan Mayer in the goal. I think with Mike Hewitt, it'd be the opposite. You'd leave him in the goal and not worry about the substitutions.
Lindsay moving around pretty well now. So Lindsay will continue. Joe Silvera on for Slavko Lichner for the Earthquakes. 15 minutes left. It's a 1-1 tie here in Anaheim. Horvath takes the free kick, plays it for Best. Best back to Horvath. Down the middle, winds up and fires from 33 yards, and he scores! A tremendous goal! A tremendous goal for Joe Horvath, who took the ball from Best and shot from 33 yards and put it in the upper right-hand corner of the goal. 2-1 Quake.
That is the most incredible goal I've seen in I don't know how many years, Hal. I'm going to turn around and get a look at this one as on our video replay. Horvath hits a bullet that goes into the upper right-hand V, and it just goes into the corner of the goal and rebounds out. Mayer had no chance at all, and the shot came just inside the 35-yard line. It was one step in, an absolutely gorgeous goal by Joe Horvath.
I said 33 yards, and I don't think that's an exaggeration, as that will be one of the goals of the year to be remembered as Horvath scores his first goal as a San Jose Earthquake. We've just had a foul down below us as that Craig Allen, one of the Surf players, shaken up. Horvath from Best at 75-12, and that is one of the great goals of this or any season.
Yes, sir. That can be one of the greatest goals I've ever seen in person. He just hit a bullet right into the corner from a good 33 yards out, just across the 35-yard line.
Direct free kick for the Surf. Abraham's back of the ball. He's about
Good 33 yards out, just across the 35-yard line.
Direct free kick for the Surf. Abraham's back of the ball. He's about 28 yards from the end line. Four-man wall for the Quakes. So chance for the Surf here to tie it up. Abraham chips it right down in front, but no one made a well-timed run at the ball. It comes off to Neves on the right side. He keeps it alive. Crescitelli slips and falls. Neves tries to cross it. Best is there to block it over the sideline. Throw in.
And George really wants to win this game. He's way back in his own penalty box here, fighting and scrapping and blocking kicks.
Here's the throw in long for Moores. Powell goes up over him, heads it out in front, kept alive by Sharman, but cleared by Leverage out to midfield. Oates is there to win it back. Still have nearly 14 minutes to play. The Quakes are leading it by a score of 2-1 on Horvath's first goal as an Earthquake. Ball down the left side. Sargent flying it off toward Neves, but Etherington has the angle on the ball, and he taps it back to Mike Hewitt. And tonight's game is being sponsored by TRW Vidar, a leading telecommunications company in our community. Part of a company called TRW.
I know, Hal, that the Earthquakes Public Relations Director, Steve DeGeorge, is here, and that goal was on tape, and I'm sure that Steve's getting that saved. He's getting that tape put away somewhere because that goal was just unbelievable. That certainly has a chance for the goal of the month.
Ball to Joe Silvera. Boy, that's one of the longest Earthquake goals I can recall, perhaps since the days of Ilya Mitic, Dave.
Without question. I can't even remember Ilya hitting one from that far out. Just unbelievable. Not over the top anybody. That ball was still climbing when it hit the back of the net.
Mayer got a running start out, but just couldn't climb high enough. Here's a long ball for David left side. David trying to get around Oates. Gets a piece of it, but it's over the end line for a goal kick.
Steve's trying to get a corner kick out of this one, but I don't think the referee will have any part of that.
A goal kick for the Surf here. 12 and a half minutes left. No score, and now over to Callaway's hand. Might be forced. Lindsay seems to be moving pretty well, but you can gamble a little more when you're trailing, can't you, Dave?
Yeah, you sure can, and you don't get second guessed quite so much for doing it.
Here's Allen in midfield, losing the ball to Crescitelli. Tony breaking up the right side, but he has three defenders against him. Knocked away over there by Cahill, but he keeps it alive to Etherington. Etherington down the middle for Leverage, who loses the ball to Mark Lindsay, and Lindsay is moving quite well now with that steal, away from Crescitelli, and Lindsay is trying to stay in this game. We can assure you at this point, unless that ankle would stiffen up. Here's the ball out from Oates. Up the right side, it goes to Cahill. Cahill to Neves. 12 minutes left. Quakes leading 2-1 on a spectacular goal by Joe Horvath. Be the 19th goal of his NASL career. Long ball right side for Moyers. Powell is there to knock it away. Powell runs it down in the left corner. Plays it out to George Best to keep it in play. Best double teamed. He's in a tough spot there. Plays it back. And here is Sharman. Abraham's lifting the ball. And it may have been on target for the goal. Silvera there to head it away as Best gave one away to Abrahams. And I'm not sure if it was going to be in the goal. Silvera clears it over the end line. Corner kick.
Again, a very bad place to give the ball away in your own penalty box with your goalkeeper off his line.
Here's Abraham's corner kick from the right side. Hewitt out over Moyers to grab it. Throws it out to Crescitelli. Tony driving for the midfield line. Plays it for David, but not enough smoke on that pass, and it's taken away by Steve Sargent. Here come the Surf counter-attacking with 11 minutes left. Quakes leading at 2-1. Sharman left side for Allen. In the box, Rotonsky is there. Knocked away, kept alive by Sargent. Back toward Morris. Lets it go through to Abrahams. He has it right side of the end line, and it's tackled away over the end line by Powell.
Great defensive effort that time by Powell. Abrams really put a move on as he took that ball down, but he didn't have it on his good foot. Abrams is a left-footed player, and he had the ball on his right foot, and he opted not to shoot. And when he did that, Powell went right in and won the ball.
Corner kick right side. Abraham plays it out in the middle toward Morris. It's headed away by Powell, who goes up in front of Hewitt. Kept alive by Cahill on the right side. Abraham stops it with his left foot. Brings it up the left side. Turns, crossing it now for Craven. Craven goes up, gets a piece of it, but Hewitt off his line in the front of the goal box to grab it on one hop.
I see Tony Powell's limping again a little bit. It probably just on all these high balls that are going to the box, somebody's landed on his feet, and he's got some cleat marks on the top of his boots.
Ball played back to Mike Hewitt here. 10 minutes left. The Quakes are leading it by a score of 2-1. Horvath with the go-ahead goal. Best, who had the first goal, assists on the second.
And I hope we put enough emphasis on Horvath's goal. That was an unbelievable goal that he hit. Just gorgeous.
Lindsay holding the ball in the center line. Here comes the Surf again. Sharman up the left side. He's had a strong second half here. Came on to replace Paulo Cesar 20 minutes into the game. Lindsay across the field to Craven, who's coming up forward now as the Surf trails down on the right side. Played back for Neves. Here's Powell again to knock it away. Powell all over this field in the last 10 minutes. Throw in for the Surf.
You look down at the Earthquake bench, and Coach Gabriel's got sitting with him only Bob Stetler and Mike Hunter, so he only brought 14. He knew they were all healthy and brought just as many as he could play. He didn't bring any extra players, and he's got his next move would be maybe Hunter somewhere in the defense, but I don't see anybody injured.
Here's a long cross toward Moyers. Hewitt goes up. Moyers, looks like Moyers got a hand on the ball. It's kicked in by Abrahams, but Moyers spiked it away from Hewitt, and that's almost a yellow card type of a handball.
It sure was. Goldman's not even paying attention, but Moyers, again, we talked about it at halftime, is going up with Hewitt and really is competitive with Hewitt for high balls. That time he knocked Hewitt down and slapped the ball into the goal with his hand, and the referee's absolutely right in just allowing it. I think he ought to say something to him.
There was nothing accidental about that handball. He went as high as he could. Steve, here's the ball through to the front of the area, but Crescentelli can't trap it, and it goes through, and Lindsay leaves it for Alan Mayer. Moyers up almost, what would you say, Dave, rim high at his spike. Spiking away from over Hewitt, but he was going to lose the ball and didn't get carded, so I guess it was a good play. Lost it anyway, but not carded.
I don't think he played as high as...
With 8 minutes left, Quakes lead it 2-1. Mayer throws it out for Sargent. Quakes trying for that first road victory. Boy, they could really make a big move tonight. The Surf in first place with 39 points, San Diego 38. An Earthquake win right now would be an 8-point win. They'd have 34. They would really be back in business, only about 6 points out of first place.
This is a big, big game for them.
Here's Craven to the offside line. Plays one behind Lindsay, but Lindsay has time to go back and win it along the offside line. Lindsay driving in on Horvath now. Ball deflected by Liberich, but it goes right to Abrahams. Abrahams in a crowd. Owl comes up with the ball. Tony drives it out to midfield. It'll be run down by Oates. Surf has it back.
The Earthquakes are dumping these balls out into the midfield, and they really don't have anybody out there to collect them and hold on to them. And that's what you need, is somebody out there that can collect it and hold it for a few minutes, a few seconds, just so you can get out of the defense, and then you can take your time and move to the attack. Just play keep away and use the clock and make it work for you as you approach the other team's goal.
Long throw in from Best to Crescentelli. Tony double team, losing the ball. Nebbs has it. Here comes the serve. Exactly 7 minutes left. The Quakes are leading it 2-1. Abrahams down the left side. Plays it out to Craig Allen. Allen driving to the 35-yard line. Plays it wide now to Sharman. Sharman looking down in front to Moyers and Nebbs and Abraham. Sharman still with it. Horvath makes a run at him. It's played back in front. Here comes Lindsay. Lindsay cuts it back to Sargent. Surf has to get back on side. Sargent drives it down the right side toward Moyers. It's headed away by Powell. Comes out to Ratonski. And it's played back to Mike Hewitt.
The Earthquakes played that one really well. Jimmy headed the ball out to Ratonski. Ratonski played it really simply back to Hewitt. Hewitt's now tossed the ball to Best. Best slaps it back to Hewitt. Now that's possessing the ball, but you've got to be careful. They're on their back half of the field. They'd like to do the same thing out in the middle third of the field and somewhat in the offensive third.
Hewitt punts it to the other end of the field. Steve David trying to get under it. Craven goes up with him. Craven wins the ball. Into the center circle it goes. Nebbs got a high kick from Horvath. Free kick, Surf.
Looked like both players lifted their foot for the ball pretty well there. And
Joe got it up higher.
Joe must have been on top. He won the ball.
Cahill plays it back to Lindsay. David makes a run at him. Lindsay has to play it back to Oates. Surf losing time here. We have less than 6 minutes to play. The Quakes lead it 2-1. Ball will be intercepted by Best. Best plays it in for Steve David. Here he comes across the offside line. Top of the box. Mayer dives, misses. David open goal, and he hit it too high. David faked out Mayer, brought it wide right, had an open goal about a 45-degree angle and got under it, and Steve staring at the ground as the insurance goal slips away.
Oh, without question. Best laid a brilliant ball for Steve. Steve had Mayer faked, dribbled past him, had an open goal, and lifted the ball out over the top. He was running hard to his right and had a defender chasing. Let's be honest about it. But he should have put the ball in the goal. He could have rolled it in, and yet he wanted to give it enough to get it in the back of the net without anybody catching it. He got underneath it. He was on the rough part of the infield where they put the pitcher's mound in, and it might have created a jump on the ball, but the ball went over the top, and they should have put this game away right there.
Sharman getting by 2 Quakes. Now it's knocked over the sideline. Last hit by Etherington. Throw in California. Throw in comes out to Lindsay. He'll wind up left to the arc. Fires a shot. Hewitt spikes it over the bar. Sensational play by Mike Hewitt.
Mike Hewitt made a great save there. That was a knuckling ball that Lindsay hit, and it was headed into the goal. There's no question. Mike, again, with great reactions, gets way out to his right and just punches the ball over the top, gives the corner kick away.
Well, I'll tell you, Lindsay hit a great shot there. Hewitt with a sparkling save. Here's Sharman playing it out to Sargent. Sargent crossing it in front, headed up into the air over the goal. Believe Silvera got his head on it. Might have been Ratonski. It's a goal kick for the Earthquake. Fans, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Los Gatos Datsun Volvo. We're closer to you and your car at Los Gatos Datsun Volvo.
The Earthquakes certainly can't give away chances like that and protect this lead. That's too good of a chance. They've got to get a little more fight to win those balls in their penalty boxes, especially those balls that are coming in high. They're the ones that are creating most of the danger for them.
Craven over the back of Steve David to commit a foul in the center circle.
You have to believe that the Earthquakes are missing Alan Merrick here. Alan goes back and wins a lot of those, has excellent timing. Not that he's a giant, but he can win balls back there in that area.
Best drills one up toward David, but coming from behind, Craven got up in the air to win it away, but Best takes it away from Neves. Best left side of the box. David and Crescitelli in front. George stops on a dime, plays it back to Liverich. Crossing in front. Out comes Mayer in front of David, knocks it down and picks it off.
Another great opportunity for the Earthquakes. Mayer just did get to the ball over the top of Steve David that time. That was a good opportunity.
Here comes Sharman in midfield, driving front of the center circle, plays it across the field to Neves now. Chest trap, or rather foot trap. Played it back toward Craven. Now comes to Paul Cahill. Down the middle, Horvath knocks it away, but Lindsay comes up with the ball. Lindsay standing over it, approaching the 35-yard line now, crossing it toward Moyers. Moyers helps it back to Abrahams. Abrahams marked by Crescitelli, pushing it left side for Sargent. Sargent's got it, driving in on Etherington. Fakes right, back to the left. Crescitelli comes over to help out. It's knocked over the sideline, throw in serve.
The Surf certainly respond to being down a goal. They come right back at you and just throw everything they can and just come in as hard as they possibly can. But Earthquakes have got to button things down and be settled.
Going from Sargent to Lindsay. He crossed it to the far side of the box. Up in the air, Allen, but over him goes Liverich to win the ball. It comes out to Steve David. David has it kicked away from behind by Moyers. No, David hit it last. It's off Steve. Going for the Surf. Here's Horvath jumping in front of Neves to win the ball. Horvath and Neves go after it. Neves finally comes up with it. Tries to play it off to Moyers. It's knocked away by Silvera. Scramble for it in midfield, and the Surf has it back. Craven comes up with it. Craven ahead to Sharman. Sharman to the offside line. Cross the field, it goes to Sargent. Sargent driving in on Etherington now. Crescitelli comes over to help out. Cross down the middle. Silvera can't get it. Moyers kicks out, can't control the ball. Horvath has it for the Quakes. Horvath to midfield. 2:15 to play. Long ball for David. Oates is on his way. Mayer right out of the area beyond the arc. They kick it back to the other end. High in the air. Controlled by Silvera. Knocked away. Squirts off to the left side. Etherington is all alone. Heads it back toward the area. Now spins with Abrahams there. Clears to the midfield, but it goes to Craven. Craven to the offside line. He'll wind up, fire one. It hits Silvera, and Hewitt scampers off to his right to grab the ball.
And the Earthquakes have opted here with a minute, is that right, a minute 47 left in this game, to leave Steve David up at the 35-yard line, the attacking 35. Everybody else now has dropped back. Crescitelli has dropped back. They're going to defend and send Stephen David on the breakaway.
Long punt, bounces high, one hop. David and Oates really throwing elbows at the arc. Let's see which way they call it. I think it's on Oates. And the Quakes can have a free kick within the arc. So here's a chance.
Oates had no other way to defend David that time but to hold him. This is where Steve David is really dangerous. He's 1 against 1. He's against Oates. And Oates just had to grab him literally around the waist to hold him. So the Earthquakes get a free kick here just at about 21 yards out. Straight in front. George Best will take it.
Best has this ball about 21 yards from the end line. 5-man wall. Crescitelli off on the right side of the box. David and Liverich to Best right. Mayer crouching, moving a bit now to his right. Best taps it for Liverich. Here he comes. Drills one, but he's under it too much. Boy, the Quakes just have their sights consistently too high, Dave. Goal kick.
Yeah, they have. The ball again bounced up into the air, and they're on that baseball end of the field, and it's a little bit bumpy down there, but certainly not enough to create balls that high in the air. It would really have to jump off the grass for you to boot it up that high.
We have just 45 seconds left as Mayer dribbles the ball in front of the penalty area. The Quakes trying to hang on. They'd be within 6 points of first place if they can win. Ball comes down near Liverich, but it's controlled instead by Craig Allen. Off to Sargent, left side now. Ball coming long toward Abrahams. Abrahams trying to get it around Ratonski. Ratonski knocks it away. Here's a whistle. Foul for the Surf. What a break here. Clock run down to 27 seconds, and the Quakes might have been able to clear it out one last time. Instead, it'll be a free kick. 20 yards from the end line and about 10 yards wide of the penalty area.
And I noticed they stopped the clock. I didn't see the referee stop the clock, but they certainly stopped it here in this stadium.
Abrahams approaching the ball. 2-man wall is formed. It's a bad kick hit by Ratonski out to the offside line. Sargent heads it back forward, but it'll cross the sideline with 20 seconds left. The Earthquakes have a throw-in.
The Earthquakes certainly ought to be able to possess the ball for the 15 seconds that are left on the clock when they get this one inbounds.
Etherington throwing it in for Crescitelli. Let him do much, but at least it's out to the midfield area with 10 seconds. Here's Etherington going up with Allen be throwing for the serve. Just 3 seconds on the scoreboard clock. Abraham throwing into Lindsay. Lindsay at the 35-yard line. He'll turn. Silvera blocks his shot. Time is run out on the clock. Scramble for the ball. Goldman should be signaling the end of the game. And that's it. The Earthquakes have won their second in a row as Jimmy Gabriel runs out to midfield with his fist pushed high in the air, congratulating his teammates as the Quakes have reversed an earlier home field own goal loss to the Surf and moved to within 6 points of first place. Final score, San Jose 2, California 1. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, we are... Oh, luck, Craig. We played this back already once here tonight, but little problem right now, and we'll take one more shot at it, Craig. George Best goal. He drives in. Out comes Mayer. Shot. Score! George Best puts the Earthquakes in front as Cahill simply lost the ball at the top of the box. And George Best said, let's don't mess this one up. George came in, takes it in for an unassisted goal, and the Quakes go in front 1-0. That was at 54-46. Again, Best intercepting from Cahill just beyond the penalty area. Brought it into, I guess maybe 12, 13 yards away, faking Mayer to his right, and George firing it in. His third goal of the season, and the Quakes had a 1-0 lead at 54-46. However, the Surf needed just 7 minutes and 1 second to tie it up. Down the left side against Wojtowski. Horvath comes over to help out, but it comes out in front to Fernandez. At the arc, he winds up. Now pushing it right side. Gets back in front to Moyers. Moyers turns and shoots, and it's good for a goal to tie it up. Moyers meeting a leaping Mike Hewitt from out near the spot as he's had several chances. Turned in there and shot and beat Mike to the left post, and it's all tied up at 1-1. Steve Moyers with his third goal of the season. Those are really only half chances, Dave, but turning at the spot and shooting at a couple other opportunities, and he put this one in. Good goal.
Yeah, it certainly was. Steve made out of the half chance a goal, and you certainly got to credit him for it. He got it in the side of the net, and it was a very, very difficult position. I thought Vasa Ratonski let down just a little bit. He shouldn't have let Steve turn and get a clear shot on it, and I think it's just one of those moments that he caught Vasa relaxed for a second, and you just can't do that, and especially with the ball at your own penalty spot.
So that tied it up. Assist to Johan Sharman and to Vidal Fernandez for Steve Moyers. I believe I might have said second goal of the season. He had won 2 games ago to enable him to get a haircut. Steve gets another one tonight, but won't probably go out and celebrate too much. That tied it at 61-47. And then a goal that you really have to see to even believe, as Horvath scored, I believe we called it 33 yards out at 75-12. Left. It's a 1-1 tie here in Anaheim. Horvath takes the free kick, plays it for Best. Best back to Horvath, down the middle, winds up and fires from 33 yards, and he scores! A tremendous goal! A tremendous goal for Joe Horvath, who took the ball from Best and shot from 33 yards and put it in the upper right-hand corner of the goal. 2-1 Quakes.
That is the most incredible goal I've seen, and I don't know how.
Well, you have to go back quite.